Hey guys, Ben Hart here with Matt Benfield, and this is Chicken Jam, and we're going to talk about today thinking outside of the box, I guess, when it comes to chicken picking. What did you say a second ago?
Picking outside the pin.
Picking outside the pin. So this is chicken picking on Chicken Jam outside the chicken pin. So basically, chicken picking, as we went over in some other things, is a lot of, and it's cliche, in the comments, I'll get roasted for this. This is what this video is about. Yep, there we go. We got a chicken right there. Is a lot of Lydian scale and a lot of dominant notes and swinging the third. And so there's kind of some rules, and that definitely is a great starting point. But we're going to talk about some different things. And he was playing something earlier, and we were trying to analyze it from a theory standpoint, and we realized that both of us don't know anything about theory.
Yeah, it took us a long time to figure out how to technically say all this next bit here. So I hope you theory people enjoy this bit.
All you kids from Berkeley are gonna laugh at us hillbillies down here in Florida. Trying to figure out what this is. But what we learned from it is we laughed and we said, if it sounds good, it is good, whether we know what it is or not. Although we're going to try to speak in terms that maybe, and all you, the Berkeley kids can, in the comments.
Yes.
They'll straighten us out.
Yeah, they
All right,
will.
so let's talk about that. Show us kind of that lick and what was in your mind. Don't try to fix it.
Yeah.
Go with what you had in your mind, and then talk about how you use it and stuff. Go ahead.
So yeah, I got this idea from listening to like Billy Strings do this kind of thing. And so they would be just playing, like let's say they're playing. We're doing G7 here. This actually works.
Are we in the
better.
key of G?
We're in the key of G.
Key of G. So assuming the 1, 4, and 5 is the dominant, and we're on the 1 right now.
Yeah, and then see, like let's say we're just jamming our regular old mixed Lydian. Alright, we're playing mixed Lydian, but then all of a sudden we want to just take it to a random weird place, and then I'll play something like this. So you're just kind of moving in and out of this. What it is a B-flat Lydian scale. And you can intertwine with this, and if you're just playing over a G7. It's even better if it's a G minor. So a B-flat Lydian scale is basically, help me out with this, sharp.
Here's where we're gonna get. The flat 5 or sharp 4.
Right.
All right, depending on how you want to say that.
So yeah,
or
if you were to play a B-flat.
That's the Lydian note in the scale.
Correct. If you were to play a B-flat major scale. That's your B-flat major scale, but if you were playing a B-flat Lydian.
We added there. So technically, I believe this is correct. If you replace the 4 with the sharp 4, the flat 5, that makes it Lydian in that key. But he not only took it Lydian, because if we said that, you'd be in G.
Yeah.
And you would have added the C sharp. You actually, in your brain, went to B flat, which to me says you went bluesy or minory, because that's the minor third of G.
Correct.
So you went there and thought B flat for a second, even though maybe we still should be thinking about over a G minor.
Yeah.
But you didn't. That's not how you got there, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You got there by it sounding good.
It works better with a G minor, but you could. You can't stay there very long. It's kind of like looking at the sun, you know? You can only look at it for a short amount of time. And then if you're really wanting to get fancy. And that there is going into a G diminished over top of your G7. So you can weave in and out of your G diminished. And then go into your
So
B
he
flat.
played a G diminished 7 arpeggio over his G.
Correct.
Over your G?
Over a G chord.
Yeah, over your G.
Yeah.
That's what he did. That's what he did
Right. So like let's say so I'll just like loop this.
And this
quick.
is like the sun comment. This is passing notes.
Yeah.
So like you can get away with a lot in the right context.
That's just
It was
some
all
idea.
over a G7.
Yeah, I would never use that much Lydian or diminished, like just playing it like that normally, but I'm just showing you what you could do. You just want to sprinkle it in here and there with all your other Mixolydian riffs and everything.
So there's some outside of the box things that's just not, because like, and he, for some.
Outside the pin.
Outside of the pin things. Oh man!
Let your chickens get out of the pin.
Don't let the chickens get out of the pin.
You can let them get out of the pin, but just for a short amount of time. You got to throw them back in there.
You did the looper on the old flashback.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How long will that go?
I don't know.
45 seconds or something.
Yeah, not long.
Yeah, we have used some looper. I've used my looper on the digital. Anyway, we're getting looping. So I would say, so here's some things. Think about using minor chords, Lydian chords, and diminished chords in arpeggio forms over dominant chords.
Yeah.
Let's think about that.
So you could also, you're talking about minor chords, right?
Well, yeah. So let's talk about that real quickly. You said, well, it sounds better with a minor chord.
Yeah.
Kind of, because like the minor third of G, it's either going to sound tense, there's tension and release.
Right.
That's a tense note. But in a minor chord, it's part of the chord, so that is the release. So I wouldn't say it sounds better. I would say one sounds bluesy, and then one sounds like you could rest there.
Right.
You can't rest there on
and
the G.
those B Lydian notes, that E chord and the the E, basically, that E note. If you're playing that with your G, it would sound something like this, you know, it would be like, that's essentially the note, that's what it E. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
So if I played my minor, so if I played like a minor progression.
What's like?
I'm just thinking, how do I add that E note? Basically, you're looking at a G minor scale.
So you were playing G minor and then add the E note with it.
Yeah, and it's like we kind of.
Which is the 6.
Yeah, it's like something you do all the time. But when you start thinking about like B flat, and you're like, okay, I need to add the E in anytime I can, and now it just sounds like you're playing B flat.
So play your low G minor scale real quick. Okay,
or regular.
Yeah, the one position of it. And you were trying to add the E, so you're trying to add that right there.
Yeah, that's all the note you're trying to add.
Yeah, so there's a way of thinking about it. I mean, we all have, okay, so like sometimes when I'm playing and you want it bluesy, I'm going to play over a G minor, and then I'm going to add, the sharp 4 in that, or the flat 5, which is technically the pentatonic blues scale. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
So basically, here's another thing you can do. You can play the minor scale instead of adding the sharp 4. You're adding the 6 in there, and it gives another variant. So maybe think about it rather than learning a new scale. Think about, okay, I'm gonna play the minor chord, but I'm gonna experiment with adding a different note rather than a sharp 4.
Correct. Yeah.
Boom.
That's a good way to think about it. Yeah.
There's a way of thinking about it. Now, what that is?
It's like it's within the box, but somehow it's outside of the box.
Yeah.
You know, it's like nothing I just did just
out
then.
Of the pin.
Out of the pin.
Out
there
of
we
the
go.
pin.
Yeah. That's what this one's going to be called. Out of the pin.
Out of the
pin with Matt and Ben. Anyway, I hope this was educational for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess what we're getting at is try stuff.
Try stuff.
He technically earlier this first lick that while we made this video was probably playing a G minor arpeggio with an E in there, but he wasn't thinking about it like that. He was thinking about playing a B flat with the Lydian note in there, and then he mixed in with mixed Lydian and G. But like really how he came at that was he tried something and he liked it.
Yeah.
So like, get your fundamentals down. Don't stress over it. If it sounds good, it is good.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So that's a cool video here at Chicken Jam, and we'll see you at another one.